channel. Oh, come on, audio. You were fine for literally up until I opened my mouth. Signifying how much hatred you have for me. As I was saying, I'm your host, Mortanius, and we're back with some more Mass Effect 2 Legendary Edition on the Xbox Series X. Time of recording is 12:01 a.m. Friday, February 28th, 2025. When last left off, we had finally managed to solve our friend and colleague Thane Krios' problem in the form of his son, Koliat Krios, who apparently had tried to become somewhat of an assassin. Whether that was to get to know his father, or to spite his father, or simply to move forward with his own life, we don't have context. Not trying to get into too much detail in terms of that, in case you folks want to check that out. If you haven't already, in which case, if you haven't but you're here, shame on you. Now we're just in the process of moving on to helping out our other colleagues and continuing on throughout the galaxy. So if you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists, bang the bell. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube, follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And get comfortable. Let's get into this. It's actually funny. Crazy how bright it is. Open a window and, well, there's probably like actual lights on the edges of those that you don't see. Have me a nice drink before I head out. Nothing too potent. Double. Nothing too potent. Okay, Kasumi. What did you have to say? Ooh, let me stabilize real quick.
People are talking out there, and I hear it all.
And that's why I'm asking. I'm not sober. You're drunk.
I'm glad to hear Thane and his son are back in touch. It'll be hard, but I think they'll be fine.
Yep, I think they'll be all right too. Give them time.
Edie has a wicked sense of humor. Or I should say, a really funny lack of one. Sometimes she seems like a person. But when it comes down to it, I can't get past her being a computer.
Well, you shouldn't. She is a computer. She just may also be a person who's a computer. I mean, like it or not, you don't make AI and then eventually you're going to make AI that's going to be making its own choices. You're going to have to accept what you created. We didn't choose to be born, neither did AI. We didn't choose why we were created, neither did AI. We didn't choose who created us, neither did AI. That's where we're at, like it or not. Me personally, I'm very uncomfortable with the concept, but they're here now. As such, as living entities, if they are, they have the right to live. You have no right to take it from them. They shouldn't have been here in the first place. You played stupid games, we won stupid prizes.
This one security guy keeps staring at me. I think his name is Bert. I'm used to being watched by security, but they're usually staring at my eyes or watching my hands. I might have to start cloaking through the CIC from now on.
Translation: I don't like him. I'm fine if I'm being looked at by somebody I like that, but I don't like him, so, time to disappear.
I am glad you came. I must ask for your help. That is not easy for me.
Yeah, you don't really seem the type to look for people to aid you. You really don't. Especially from those messages between you and your daughters. You didn't hear that part.
It's all right. Just tell me what you need.
When we met on Ilium, I told you about a very dangerous person I was pursuing. Using the information you obtained, I have located her. She's been going by the name Morinth. I would like to apprehend her before she disappears again.
Yeah, it's not to say you don't care about the aid of others, but you don't seek it. It makes me wonder how you were before all this. The way those messages between her and her daughters were, you can you can read it and you can hear her current speech patterns. I don't think she spoke very differently then versus now.
Didn't you say you'd pick up her trail after our mission?
I know where she is, right now. In a month, she may be gone. This is the best opportunity I've ever had.
I think he was meaning more being distracted, but I mean, if it's the best opportunity, it's the best opportunity.
Where is she?
Omega, a nightclub called Afterlife, which seems a perfect place for her to hunt.
You folks know my stance on clubs, not really my tolerance. Yes, I did use that word intentionally.
How important is this?
Killing her has been my focus for 400 years. It is the most important thing in my life, and the reason I became a Justicar.
Tell me about her.
She is an Ardat Yakshi. It is a term from a dead Asari dialect. It means demon of the night winds, but that is mythology. She is simply a very dangerous woman who kills without mercy.
Well, all legends have grains of truth in them. It being from mythology, does it change what she is? Demon of the night wind? But does it change the reality? Is it, setting aside the demon, right? Usually when people speak of demons, they speak of greater forces, even if those forces are evil. They speak of things beyond themselves, beyond their capabilities. You speak of demons, you speak of angels, you speak of something stronger than you. But then why this night wind? What, because the Ardat Yakshi would move during the night more often? Stealthy, quiet, like what gave rise to that particular phrase? Huh, that's funny. I just noticed that. Smaller her back, there's a slit, like there could be like a pocket or something.
So is an Ardat Yakshi a special kind of murderer?
Morinth suffers a rare genetic disorder. When she mates with you, there is no gentle melding of nervous systems. She overpowers yours, burns it out, hemorrhages your brain. You end up a mindless shell, and soon after, you are dead.
So, death by snoo snoo. One expects that the spirit will be willing, but the body is probably spongy and bruised.
Why isn't this ever mentioned in Asari literature or art?
When we were primitive, there was much fascination with Ardat Yakshi. Some cultures worship them as gods of destruction. Now the Asari have a place in the galaxy, and they don't wish this defect to be widely known. As far as I know, only 3 exist today. 2 chose a life of seclusion. The 3rd ran.
Morinth.
She ran, and I am sworn to kill her.
That's a little disgusting, I got no lie to tell you. You revere them as gods of destruction, but now that you have witnesses, yeah, that's a problem. But they still do their thing, but you still keep it to yourselves more often than anything. They're everybody else's problem, especially since the Asari species can effectively mate with almost any species, if not any species, throughout the galaxy. I can respect your species' desire for this to be an extreme point of contention and embarrassment, but people are dying. Get over the embarrassment.
I don't know that I blame her for running.
When she fled, she proved her addiction. She was not taking a great moral stand. She simply wants to keep killing. She is a tragic figure, but not a sympathetic one.
That's interesting logic. Hold on.
Why isn't this
When
ever
we were
mentioned?
primitive. Now, as far as she ran, and I am
I don't know
sorry.
that I blame her for running.
When she fled, she is a tragic figure.
She proved her
not
addiction.
a sympathetic one.
Based on the fact that I'm assuming as an Ardot-Yakshi, she surrenders or she dies. Prove your addiction because you leave, but don't want to surrender. That is some interesting logic, and I highly doubt it's based on Justicar so much as your entire species.
Can't she abstain?
Each encounter gives her strength. The effect is narcotic. The more she does it, the more she needs to do it. She will never stop. She can't.
Now that solidifies your statement, but not as much as you like to think. But it does lend more credence to her proving her addiction. So she gets stronger when she does this. The chick is basically a vampire. Jesus. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cool.
So you hunt down these Asari just because they're born with a genetic condition?
It manifests with maturity. When one is diagnosed, she is offered the chance to live in seclusion and comfort. If she refuses, it shows her addiction to the ecstasy she gets from killing her mates. There is no redemption for such a person.
Or a lack of desire to be imprisoned. A gilded cage is still a cage. What?
They have to choose between prison and death?
It is an addictive condition. Remember how adaptive we are. If Morinth does not want to be cured, she won't be.
So it's curable. But you approach it with such viciousness. I can definitely see why she's dangerous in that regard. Just from somebody who could just keep going and then siphon strength. And then you have to wonder if the individual she siphons the strength from matters. All Asari have biotics. If she siphons the mind/energy of somebody without biotics versus somebody with biotics, does she gain that person's strength in biotics? Excuse me. If somebody doesn't have biotics, does she still gain strength for her biotics or just for her mind?
This is definitely worthy of your full attention.
She confuses her victims, twists their feelings. They will do anything for her favor.
Interesting. You make that sound less like a manipulative person and more like she actually has power over them. Not like gaslighting or like mental manipulation, redirection, innuendo, right? It doesn't sound like that. The way she makes it sound, it's almost like her abilities outright exert some sort of psychosis.
We need to stop her.
Thank you, Commander. There are no words to express what this means to me. There is one thing more. This creature, this monster. She is my daughter.
You said this is genetic. How many children do you have?
3. And 3 Ardot-Yakshi are in existence today. It is as it sounds. Morinth was always the wild one. She was happy and free, but selfish.
Interesting. And that lets me know how everything about who she is and who you are in that one statement. You notice Samara is very buttoned up. And from those messages, and that was 3 centuries back. 3-4 centuries back. She was still that way, always kind of buttoned up. How buttoned up, I can't say. In her younger years, she was probably all over the place. But with her being buttoned up like she is, this Morinth, intentionally or unintentionally, she could have ended up living vicariously through her daughter like the rebellious one. As much as I would like for you to act with sense, I respect your strength kind of thing. Or one of those, I wish I had the strength to go against convention. Not all convention is bad, but I wish I had the strength to go against the norms, like you do.
I cannot imagine what this is like for you.
I do not want pity, Shepard. I do not accept it. My daughter's condition is my fault, and my redemption lies in killing her. Do not pity me. Simply understand my situation.
Your fault. That's funny. Do not pity me. Simply understand my situation. No.
How did all this happen?
I spent my youth on the move, adventuring. I killed people, mated with them, or just danced the night away. I learned so much, experienced so much, and then my matron days came. I could finally sit back, bask, and enjoy my family. But in one moment, it was all taken away.
Interesting. So yeah, she did what most Asari do in her maiden days, at least up to year 300 plus. She was everywhere, stripping, running around with merc bands, killing, sex, potentially drugs, so on and so forth. Then that matron stage hit. Started to settle down, started to look for stability, peace, children, family.
It sounds terrible.
I sat in a med lab while a nearsighted doctor droned at me, and I learned that nothing was as I thought it would be. I gave up all that I possessed. I own nothing, claim nothing. All my knowledge will die with me. Now my purpose is to destroy my own children.
Yeah. And then you have to wonder how it happened with her other kids. Because if she found out, then more than likely they didn't call her kids and let her know. If they come at it like this, they probably hit them with sweeper teams and we're sending people in. Either you surrender or you get a couple clips emptied in you. Say, what's wrong with y'all? Come to find out, all three of y'all are Ardat Yakshi. Please, please blink funny, please.
Those moments change you.
And I've hundreds of
Don't
years
they?
left to live with that. I say too much. Forgive me. Help me find my long-lost daughter. And kill her.
You said what you needed to. If you said too much, it's only because it makes you think about more. Good, bad, and in between reasons. But you didn't tell me too much. I'm fine. We'll do what we gotta do.
We'll go find Morinth.
Well, shit. As I said in the last episode, before going back to Liara, the Shadow Broker's base, you actually read her codex, her dossier, and you see she oh. Is that now or is it later? Okay, it's later. I could have sworn. Whatever happened to that? Back in the day, there used to be a tutorial system that you could go into and, like, look at. Hey, little buddy. Go ahead and feed my fish since I'm up here. And yep, the whole point of me coming up here was just to come up here. Oh, I'm like, where did I find that thing? That was that orb that we picked up from Dr. Oloy on the Cerberus dig. You got my helmet from the Normandy crash site. Shadow Broker's vessel. Shepard, what'd you do with your dog tags? So she believes... Oh, there they are. Let's go. So she believes her running around in her younger years is what sparked the Ardat Yakshi gene. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sounds superstitious in and of itself. But it's possible. Doing what she did, it is quite, especially with all those meldings, it is quite possible that it did disrupt her biology to the point that it would have transferred such a thing. But the way she made it seem was like she had her children still during her maiden stage. Because she said she could, when she hit her matron stage, she could focus on her family as if they already existed. And then moreover, I highly suspect if you're an individual capable of producing Ardat Yakshi, they are not going to let you have children. Not with the way the Asari seem to approach this whole thing. So her kids were already born. Alright. She's got throw, pull, Asari Justicar, increases Samara's combat skills, weapon damage, health, and improves her power recharge time. Samara's monastic training improves her health, weapon damage, and the recharge time of her powers. 15% health for a level 3 upgrade, 18% weapon damage, and 18% power recharge speed. Definitely need to get rid of that shredder ammo from you there, guy. Like I said, it's mainly only good against unshielded targets, flesh and bone, and we'll go through those pretty quickly, so it's not an issue. Sapiens Justicar. Samara's biotic abilities now rival those of an Asari matriarch, further reducing the recharge time of her powers. Both upgrades give you a 20% health increase, but this one gives you 25% power recharge, whereas the other one gives you 25% weapon damage. Kato Justicar. Samara's time is spent honing her lethal skills, increasing her weapon damage. Yeah, I'll go with that. Usually, depending on what it is, I usually tend to focus on recharge time for my teammates. Throw field. Oh, it's funny. Back in the day, I used to make it a point to have Samara with me when I would go get Thane. No, you ain't bringing a super cop to pick up an assassin. You must want me to kill him.
The daily death count on Omega is too high for me to pinpoint an Ardat Yakshi's location. However, given the reputation of Ardat Yakshi among the Asari, Arya T'Loak may have tracked her movements.
Thank you.
That is disgusting. People die on Omega so often, you can't even tell when there's a power vampire running around. And mind you, you don't entirely have context for what it is you're looking for, but Jesus Christ. Ah, Azrael. Welcome to the game, welcome to the chat. Thanks for stopping through. Why do I think Skyrim is still as big as it is with all the modding, while other games don't really get the same level of modding or popularity? It's because it's been around for so long. For two, Skyrim is so malleable. There's so much you can do, from making it to where weight matters more to where what matters less. You can travel differently, different horses, outright different methods of movement, travel, combat. If you so choose, you could probably even make mods that set up the game to allow you to outright have effect on the world itself with your powers. it's not entirely surprising. There's so many things you can actually do with Skyrim that, for instance, you can't do in or rather that you can't do in Skyrim naturally anymore. Like back in the day, don't know if you ever played Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I don't need that heavy weapon upgrade. But Oblivion, once you got to a point, which was in the Imperial City, there was a vendor, not a vendor, there was was it the College of Magi or something like that? But there was a college for magical characters. You had to journey all around Oblivion's landscape, Cyrodiil, in order to train at each magic school before you were admitted to this main school in the Imperial City. And in that school, they had little like tables where you can outright make spells. So much, and you can make any spell. One of my favorite things to do, at least at first, is what I would do. I would get access to it. And the first thing I would do is create the strongest, furthest reaching telekinesis spell I could get. And this thing would reach all the way across the area I was in, but it lasted for barely a second because I didn't have the mana and I didn't have the levels to actually make it work for any plausible amount of time or any real use. The whole point was just to see how crazy I could make it. It's pretty much the same thing. It's to see how crazy they can make it, and there's always more crazy to go. Do I get this for Thane? I always wondered, because you can always pick this magazine up, but it never made any sense to me why you get it. Beyond that, I can't say what else their ideas might be. Other than just increasing the opportunities for us to do more with a pretty good game.
People come to places such as this seeking a better life. And when they get here, they fall hopeless. Vibrant people forced into destitution on a world filled with criminals. They deserve protection. If I survive the mission, I may return here.
I can respect that, but you understand that's going to be a never-ending battle. Carrot. Nothing useful for me. I mean, you got some armor, but I have no need for it. Alright, let's go talk to Arya. Nothing in these shops I'm looking for, so... Leave me be. I don't have who I need for you.
Come on, let me in.
Hey, I remember y'all. You almost got shot last time. Unless you were a different group. Actually... Oh yeah, there's humans there. You're a different group. Alright. Never really got into constant face paint all over the place, but that's
What do you need?
An Asari fugitive is hiding out here. She's an Ardat Yakshi. We need to find her.
I knew it. Nothing leaves the body quite so empty as an Ardat Yakshi does.
You haven't taken steps to kill her.
Why would I? She hasn't tried to seduce me. Her last victim was a young girl. Pretty thin. Lived in the tenements near here. That's where I'd start looking.
She says she knew it. Nothing leaves a body so empty as an Ardat Yakshi. Interesting.
Thanks for the help.
Good luck finding her. Better luck catching her.
She'll have people probably following us to make sure that the chick doesn't try anything in the long term. I can't blame it. I don't know. I just never had tolerance for places like this, especially with the lighting. It's like, God. I have a desire to see what I do, to see what I drink, and to see who I'm interacting with. Lighting is powerful, and it can fool you. I have no desire to go in there and talk to some chick, leave, and then come to find out I've been speaking to a Gila monster. It wouldn't be her fault, it would be the lighting. Why'd I go this way? Should have took the other one.
Are you here about my daughter? My nephew died a week ago and no one seems to care. The medics said it was a brain hemorrhage, but that's not true. It was murder. Someone killed my nephew, my baby.
It sounds like Omega. Don't.
I think she was murdered too, and I'm looking for her killer.
Oh, thank you. It's so hard when no one believes you. I'm all alone now. Are you one of Aria's people?
No. But, I am interested. That's a pretty good theory, and it makes a lot of sense that nostalgia was the main issue. There were a lot of things that were missing from Skyrim. There was a lot that was done like beautifully, but there was a lot that was missing from Skyrim. I mean, if memory serves, I think the engine they used was the same. I think I had to do some research on that, but I think the engine they used was the same. But it was a lot of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but nothing wrong with adding a few things. The way Skyrim came out, it almost seemed like there was not enough time to really do what they wanted to do. And considering how long Elder Scrolls 6 has taken, I actually believe that probably was the case. Elder Scrolls 6 is coming, I promise. I promise it's coming. Right around the same time Star Citizen drops.
I'm here to help. Does it matter who sent me?
No one else on this hellhole station gives a damn that my nephew is dead. If you can do something about it, I'll help you however I can.
Okay. Tell me what you know, as best you can.
Did your daughter have a lot of friends?
Not a lot, no. She was shy. Spent most of her time off making her sculptures, not hanging out with friends. Something did change in the last few weeks, though. She started talking about an Asari. Morinth.
I see.
I didn't like her. She kept dragging Neff out to clubs, and I'm pretty sure she gave my daughter drugs.
Yeah, you always got to be careful about people like that. Your daughter was, seemingly, at least so far, more introverted than anything. Tend to like her solitude. Well, she may not. Well, yeah, you actually said she was shy, so yeah, she was actually introverted. I tend to like my solitude too. I can relax around people, but once I'm done, I'm done. But then she started basically getting Neff to come out of her shell, basically, to do things she would never do. Probably was never somebody to go out to clubs at all. Probably couldn't stand them.
What kind of a person was this Morinth?
I never met her. But Neff talked about her like she was a queen. You'd swear there was no one else alive when she talked about Morinth.
That sounds familiar.
That's what I'm saying. Now you have somebody like Nev. It sounds very much like she was inexperienced with something like this. So she was just quite literally love bombed, as the kids nowadays like to say.
Samara, does Morinth control her victims with drugs?
She controls them through sheer will. The drugs are just a lifestyle. She loves the club, loves the base. She's a hedonist.
So this Morinth did
Yeah.
hurt my daughter? Is she the one that...
I will bring justice to the one that did this.
We swear to you. Neff will rest easy soon.
I hope so. I hope so. My baby.
Did Neff hang out anywhere in particular?
She was always quiet working here at home. Then, a few weeks ago, she started going out all the time to the VIP area of that club down the street. I think you need a password or something to get in there. The change was so sudden. She just seemed tired and distracted when she wasn't around Morinth.
Yeah, looks like the drain was gradual. So much so that it almost sounds like Morinth herself was kind of a drug. Like she was going through withdrawals when she wasn't near her. And that may actually have been the case, lending more credence to there being some sort of energy other than just the natural push and pull energy between people.
What kind of a girl was your daughter?
My Neff had a fire inside her. She was shy, but she was creative and driven and the best girl a mother could hope for.
She was creative. How so?
She was a sculptor. Several galleries were interested in her. Said her work was fresh.
To find somebody who's got fresh art out here, when you probably roam the galaxy and see all the art that exists, Turian, Solarian, Krogan, if there is, well, there's probably Krogan art. Human, Asari, Quarian. To hear that there's something new out here would probably be quite interesting. And she had a lot of potential. That's a shame. CD Projekt Red and Capcom collaboration? I could see it. I don't know where they'd go with the game, but I could definitely see there being one. With the way they do handle their mechanics, they actually do quite well. Especially for those two games. I played a little bit of Cyberpunk's Trial. Never got the chance to really get the going in it. But I did like it. And then, of course, Dragon's Dogma. Oh, yeah. I enjoyed myself. Mind you, I played it when it first dropped, but I had stopped playing it for a bit. But it gotten around like the last 2 or 3 months to actually playing it. So by the time I got to actually really get more into it, a lot of the issues that people were having were kind of dealt with.
You mind if I examine Neff's room?
I didn't want to disturb anything. Her clothes, her art, her sculptures, everything is the way she left it. The way it will always be. My baby is gone. She's gone, and nothing will fix that. Why did this happen? She never hurt anybody.
We need to look in your daughter's room. Nothing will be disturbed.
Okay, so, see, I try to let those conversations finish a lot of the times when those come up. That's the first time I've actually not pressed that button while she was talking and did not know it was going to stop me. I'm going to have to reload that instance.
Everything will be just as she left it.
Thank you.
I'll examine her things.
Oh yeah, they definitely put a lot of work into it. They couldn't afford to release it the way they did with Cyberpunk's release. That was trash. That was pain. And nobody was tolerating that. But the game itself, from what little I had seen when it first dropped of excuse me, like details as well as Let's Plays, Christopher Odd, a few others, they didn't deal with as much jank as you would think. That being said, there was quite a bit of jank. No, kept going. But yeah, they could not afford to release it like that again. And honestly, I'm getting so tired of these companies doing this. If you need to take 6 months, a year, so be it. Take it. Stop releasing trash to people and expecting full prices. And respect. That last one is the most important and disgusting aspect. You expect me to respect you half-assing what you do. Throw your whole ass into it as much as possible, or kick rocks. There is the door.
Are you here about my daughter? My nephew died a week ago and no one seems to care. The medics said it was a brain hemorrhage, but that's not true. It was murder.
That's true.
Someone killed my
Once they
nephew,
did
my baby.
fix it, and that's the thing about it. When I got to play Cyberpunk's trial, it had already been fixed. So I was golden. Like I think that Phantom Liberty DLC had dropped, so I was good. What I played was phenomenal. I didn't have issues. It was a beautiful game. I outright had to had to make myself stop watching Let's Plays. It's certain ones I have to make myself stop watching so that I can actually stream them from from a fresh perspective.
I think she was murdered.
Oh, thank you. It's so hard when no one believes you. I'm all alone now. Are you?
Like, I think I had
These
watched
people-
2 episodes of Elden Ring, an Elden Ring playthrough that was like an hour altogether, and I'm like, no, I'm definitely getting this. I'm gonna have to stop.
No one else on...
What kind of a person?
I will bring justice to the one that
I
did
hope so.
So, yeah, so the drugs aren't even the method to break you down. That's just the fun.
My baby.
That says a lot about who she is too. That she don't even need the drugs to break you.
Did Neff hang out anywhere in particular?
The change was so sudden.
With that being said,
She just seemed tired and
Sorry about that.
distracted
What was
when
it?
she wasn't around Morinth.
300-400 years she's been this. If she hadn't learned how to play the game after this long, like, what have you been doing? Good, bad, and in between. If you haven't learned how to play the game after this long, what have you been doing?
What kind of a girl was
She
she?
was a sculptor. Several galleries were interested in her. Said her work was fresh.
Yeah, I had heard the optimization of Cyberpunk was real bad. Not to mention, when you saw it on like Xbox One and like PS4, untouchable. I said to myself, and I remember when it first dropped, I said to myself, first off, looking at this, if it's last gen consoles, it's not getting touched. And as far as I'm concerned, I am not buying this game until I see problems dealt with. And to this day, I stand 10 toes down on that. You ain't getting money from me for a game unless I see you do something with it. We'll see.
You mind if I examine
Didn't-
Neff's room?
Everything is the way she left it. The way it will always be. My baby is... Thank you. I'm sorry. I just miss her so much.
It's okay. We've all suffered loss.
I know what it means to lose a daughter. I will avenge her.
Thank you. Please, if it helps you find her killer, look through her things.
We will be respectful.
That's the
I'll
other
examine
thing.
her things.
Every time she gets close, she hears nothing but horror stories about her own daughter. It's like, at what point did I raise you like this? At what point does what I teach you come in? And then it's like, you've been this successful with killing, this successful with hiding. Is that what you got from me? Lying, manipulation, doing harm to people? Is that what I instilled in my child? Horrible.
Neff, I'm sending you this hologram by the Elcor artist Forta. His work is sublime, but don't stare at it too long or you may go mad. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, love. I can't wait to hear what you think of Forta.
Yeah, just throwing the emotion and sensitivity. Love. But don't stare at it or otherwise you'll go mad. I don't want anything to happen to you. Want those juices flowing and that brain working for when I come see you.
Man from some gallery offered me 4 years' salary for it. But I'd never part with it.
I can respect that.
Read the oldest entry.
Hey, diary. Cycle 34, orbit 671. There's a lot
Jesus.
to talk about. I dropped Jarut's name, and they let me into the VIP room at Afterlife. I was sure everyone was staring at me. Then the most beautiful Asari starts dancing near me. She moves like water, form and volume, but shifting, changing. I'm in a trance. Then I'm dancing with her. Later, we went for skewers, and I'm supposed to see her again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So even then, she gets into this hidden place, or this unusual place, by dropping a name. She hadn't even met Morinth yet. Which means, in some way, shape, and form, her daughter was a little more, not necessarily extroverted, but trying to come out of her shell more. I can respect that she was trying to move beyond her weaknesses. I don't know about a club being the place to do it, but she was trying to move beyond her weaknesses. And then she met the Asari. But what's interesting is she says, I'm sure everyone was staring at me, as if I shouldn't be in here. I must look weird. I must look unusual. I must look goofy. I must look embarrassing. It sounds to me that if you thought like that and you moved through this place, it was visible to everybody that you were acting like that you believed everybody was looking at you, so you gave everyone a reason to look at you. You were the type to get very nervous very quickly. And it was easy to read. Unfortunately, in real life, man or woman, that makes very many people targets.
Read the middle entry.
Cycle 36, orbit 671. Am I a freak? Morinth is a girl like me, and she's definitely not human. Just when we dance and the helix is flowing through me, the way she looks at me with a hunger, a longing, no one's ever looked at me like that. We kissed tonight.
With a hunger, a longing. Mm-hmm. So Nev herself wasn't ever into women. This is an unusual thing for her. Once again, out of that shell, extremely vulnerable, extremely new, raw, open to the actual air, and letting the air cause effect on it, on that wound, that scar, that shell that's been broken. And the second she got that shell broken, the Asari was right there to take advantage. So if nothing else, she was straight and feels weird about this, but can't let it go. That's what I'm saying. The more that we go, this is starting to seem more like an addiction she induces upon people.
Read the newest entry.
Cycle 42, orbit 67. She's going to take me to her apartment tonight. Whatever happens, I want to be with her forever. She can sell my pieces. We can live somewhere glamorous, like the women in Vanya that Vid Morinth likes. How did this happen to me? I'm just dumb trash from Omega.
Let me see if I'm reading this right. The wording is a little odd, my friend. Okay, so you're saying she would make it a point to do whatever she can to appear to be less embarrassing. So she basically just go along with the crowd. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a very normal thing as well. Men do it, but women do it very... It's, put another way, it's rare to see, say, like a bunch of women go to a club or a bar or something by themselves. Usually it's them in a group, for understandable reasons. more perspectives, better safety, so on and so forth, regardless of whether men or women are the issue. It's just more safety. Now, unless that's where you were going, I can't say. Again, the wording is a little odd. But yeah, she was the very easily manipulated type. Morris knew full well who she had, and so much so that this girl is already willing to leave everything behind and live an entire life with her. Days, potentially even weeks after she met her, and she had, and more than likely, they've only been around each other 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Not long enough to establish a true, deep, longing relationship where sacrifices will be made, because sacrifices will be necessary. Let me see if there's something else I
Read the
missed.
newest entry.
Cycle 42, orbit 67. She's going to take me to her apartment tonight. Whatever happens, I want to be with her forever. She can sell my pieces. We can live somewhere glamorous, like the women in Vanya that Vid Morinth likes. How did this happen to me? I'm just dumb trash from Omega.
It's more of the, I like what you like because you like it. It seems like she rarely had her own thoughts when it came to this kind of stuff. Whoever would give her something to latch on to, she would. The bandwagon type. Unfortunate, because then she ended up hitching her wagonness to the wrong person.
Close the holo journal.
This is Morin's work. She's attracted to artists and creators. Someone with a spark, slightly isolated from their peers. She impresses with sophistication and sex appeal. Then she strikes. The hunt interests her as much as the conquest.
The slightly isolated have always been easier targets. And then if something happens, it was, well, they were isolated. And that's why it happened. They killed themselves because they were isolated. They didn't have connections. They made the mistake of heading left when they should have headed right. And no one was there to warn them. So they're gone. They died. They got sucked into space. Whatever. But she intentionally looks for people who won't be missed by most. Not because no one cares, but just because the person is quiet. They don't really do a lot of talking. And then you look up and it's been 5 years since you spoke to your family or something. She goes after people who are very easy to spot and potentially be forgotten about. Not because they don't matter, but because they're behind the scenes more often than not.
Anyone who successfully hunted sapient beings for 400 years warrants caution.
Morin speaks to you on many levels. Her body tells yours that she'll bring unimaginable ecstasy. Her scent evokes emotions long hidden. Her eyes promise you things you were always scared to ask of another. Her voice whispers to you after she is done speaking.
Yep. Literally, a perfect predator.
She sounds more like a highly evolved killer than a genetic defective.
The condition has been present since my people huddled around fires at night. Perhaps it is symbiotic rather than a defect. Storming her den would be a mistake. She will have 100 escape routes planned. She will go to ground and disappear for 50 years or more. This is the closest I've ever been.
It sounds like, it honestly does sound more symbiotic. Really. Because this is too genetically precise for it to be a defect. If it's a defect, like, what do your real defects look like? Your real problems. Like, Jesus. Yep. That sense of belonging, that friendship, that connection, that trust, willingness to do anything for someone you don't even know. And in the end, all they've done is spark your interest. They haven't done anything for you. No real sacrifices. No real respect. It's just fun, and drugs. And then in the end, you're the one left holding the bag because it's buy this for us. All of us. It's you paying for it, but we're all getting something. You too. Even though you get the smallest scraps. It's you paying for the trip. It's you paying for the medical expenses. It's you paying for the drugs, the drink, the food, so on and so forth. And then come to find out, well, they never really respected you in the end, and when it's all said and done, they'll toss you to the wayside, if not outright getting you killed. People like that have always been extremely dangerous. It's because they're so good at what they do. And what's worse is you get the ones who don't even know that they're doing it and aren't even trying. They think they're just being legit.
So we have to lure her out.
Exactly. Shepard, you read my mind. Afterlife's VIP section seems her preferred hunting ground. You must go there alone and unarmed.
It is sad that so many people experience it, but it makes perfect sense. By our nature, we have a desire for connection. People can be alone, and we can be in solitude, but our species is complementary. Not dependent, not independent. We're interdependent. We're a species. We're not designed to be separate from each other. We always seek connection, whether we think we want it or not. Sometimes we've been burnt out on connection, but it doesn't stop our natural inclination toward connection. It's just who we are as people. The only way this works is if I'm the bait. She can't be the bait. She'll know her mama the second she sees her. Me though, well, ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I'm Shepard. Enough said.
She'll come after me.
You can draw Morinth out. She'll certainly flee if she catches sight of me, but she won't be able to resist you. You are an artist on the battlefield. You have the vital spark that attracts her. Your power will draw her in.
Yeah, us as a species being based in connection, it's very easy to manipulate that connection, unfortunately. But we as a species can't afford to lose that connection. We become something horrible and unrecognizable if we do. There wouldn't really be a need for people other than procreation. And you look at the modern day now, a lot of that is what we already kind of deal with.
I'm walking into this place with no gun and no backup?
Makes
I will
sense.
be in the shadows watching, Shepard. You will never be alone. This I swear. But you cannot barge in with guns and allies. Morinth is far too cagey. She'd simply disappear. This is a subtle, delicate act. Trust me.
Exactly. We ain't guards. Anybody coming into there with guns and allowed to? No. This is a hunt. This is Arya's territory, and this is a hunt. If people are coming in with guns, they'll more than likely look like Arya's people, or they won't be coming in.
Time's wasting. Let's get over there.
I agree. We can talk more once we're there.
Hello again. Did you find anything? Is there anything I can do to help?
I should go.
Wasn't sure if we were going to keep her a prize. I don't know if you can come back and talk to her later.
End is not.
Trying to get her done. We got an assassin to find. Well, I guess more of a vampire.
The last time I was on Omega, I couldn't find work. Would think an assassin could go hungry in a place like this. Seems locals handle that kind of thing themselves, and those who can't aren't the kind of people you'd want to work with.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
Next year, once the area is declared safe for visitors, Admiral Stephen Hackett will preside.
In other words, the American colony on the horizon has been attacked. Another in a series of human failures to colonize worlds deeper in the galaxy. A council has blindly attacked some
No, our nature isn't evil. Our nature is expediency. And that's an advantage, but it's also a problem. Our nature is to choose the shortest distance between 2 points. And that's not always a straight line, but it's just the quickest method that solves the problem, unfortunately, right? Fortunately, unfortunately, we got tired of carrying stuff, so we invented carts. Carts didn't work as well, though, because we had no way to move a cart that was full of a bunch of crap, so we invented the wheel. We eventually realized that a rock could be useful, but if we can break that rock down and attach it to a stick, we can make a spear, right? It's just simplicity and progress, expediency. It's not about evil, right? Most species that humanity has discovered, we wiped out because we either discovered them either in messed up ways, or we just kept harvesting and harvesting and harvesting, never realizing that there is a such thing as a number and that that number can run out. It's not that we moved from a position of evil, we just didn't think we had to worry about that. There are actually points in history books that state we really thought this planet was unlimited and easily replenishable, and it is, if you have people who aren't consuming everything, or the occasional fire that burns down 500 to 6,000 acres or something, or an entire ecosystem that was blown to pieces by nuclear weapons, or some war that coated the soil in every form of mud, blood, piss, and napalm, among everything else. It's not a matter of us being evil. We're not evil. We're kind of impatient. Because of our lifespan, we don't really have a great deal of time to do everything. And because of that, we kind of hurry up a lot more than we really should. We do need to hurry up, but we hurry up a lot more than we really should. And as such, our species and our planet pays for it.
What do you want?
What's behind this door?
VIP section of the club. For those with the right name. Do you want something?
Someone told me the rest of Afterlife is nothing compared to this place.
Sounds like a smart person. Who was it?
Giroux.
Go on in. Word to the wise. Start a fight, we'll hurt you. Someone attacks you, it's okay to defend yourself.
Now remember, chat, they were coming right for us. Don't just run up on me like that. Say something.
You must go in alone. Morinth will be watching. Like any predator, she is cautious. You must pique her interest enough that she will approach you. When you are face to face, subtly encourage her to invite you to her apartment. I'll follow discreetly, and when you are alone, I'll spring the trap. Know this, until I get there, you are in great peril. She will be planning to inflict horrors on you. If you are not careful, you will want her to.
Giggity. Yeah, my whole thing is don't run up on me like this. I'm not concerned about your daughter doing something. We've already established that she ain't gonna play that game. But this is Omega. I'm expecting a knife in the ribs at any moment.
How can I spark her interest when I'm not even talking to her?
Courage or suicidal bravery could attract her. Hurt someone in defense and she will be excited. But pick a fight and she'll be bored. Show skill at working smoothly through a nightclub crowd. She will be intrigued. She'll want you the moment she sees you. The rest is just a matter of overpowering her caution.
She can't ignore a hero. Classic. I say I'm surprised, but I'm really not.
How do I convince her to take me home?
She admires strength, directness, and vigor. Modesty, chivalry, or meekness frustrate and bore her. Violence excites her. You've killed Shepard. She'll like that.
Or at least this is one of the few women in the galaxy that outright tell you straight up, never be chivalrous, you'll pay for it.
Getting her alone, then falling under her sway? That'll require careful timing.
I will be near, and I will come for you, Shepard. Trust me as I trust and honor you.
Alright, let's go over what we know so far.
Okay, what other things have we learned about Morinth that can help us here?
According to Neff's journal, Morinth likes dancing while on a drug called Halax. Neff's journal mentioned a vid called Vayenya. It seemed to have something to do with glamorous women. Morinth sent Neff a note saying she likes the Elcor artist Forta. Well, Shepard, that's everything we know.
Now mind you, I didn't need to review. It's funny, I can never actually forget the details of this mission.
Let's get started.
Shepard, we only get one chance at this. Any mistake and Morinth will disappear. If you're the least bit unsure, come talk to me. I will wait here. And Shepard, thank you. I do not share this burden easily, and you are the only soul I can imagine sharing it with.
No problem. Yeah, no, we're not inherently evil. We're flawed, but we're not inherently evil. We just choose the fastest path possible, and a lot of times that path can look like the evil one. It can be the evil one, but most of the time it just looks like the evil one.
Hey, do you know where to get tickets for Expel 10? I heard this amazing Asari say they were her favorite band. I just want whatever she wants. I gotta find tickets. Expel 10 is playing tomorrow.
Oh, this hoe is fishing with multiple nets.
What kind of music do they play?
They're a sensory band. Like, they crawl into you and make you feel things. And this Asari digs them like you wouldn't believe. I could score way out of my league, you know? You gotta help me.
See, and then that's what I'm saying. You also get those people who are just normal, who are like, she's out my league, but wait a minute now. There's a chance here. Just don't. Don't lower yourself to draw this woman. She's gonna kill you, obviously, we're gonna deal with that, but don't lower yourself to draw this woman. It's not to say be an asshole or a cocky, nonsensical person, but respect yourself, dude. Come on now.
What kind of music do they play?
I could score way
That
out of my
sensory
league,
band
you
thing
know?
is
You
interesting.
gotta help me.
Wonder if that's the kind of thing that they have, like how we have those backpack sound systems that reverberate music through your bones. Wonder if it's the same kind of thing.
She sounds amazing. Is she here?
She was here a couple of days ago talking about the band. She's here a lot. When she comes back, I'm gonna have tickets.
I don't have any tickets.
If you score some, I got some creds for you.
So this is her hunting ground, at least for now, and it makes perfect sense why she'd do it. Stay close. On Omega, people go missing all the time. What's a couple dozen more, huh?
Come on, baby. I can pay. I'm a good tipper, too.
Told you to stay away from me.
Playing hard to get? Give it up, baby. I'm sold.
Leave me alone.
See, now this one is interesting. He's obviously going too far. Jesus. He's obviously going too far. But I'm not trying to be cold, but you would assume kind of, if you're running around dressed like that with the back half cut out, you kind of give a sense that this is what you do. No offense. Now, if he ain't your type, then he ain't your type.
Don't be like that. I got creds. We'll go back to my place. I got simple tastes.
Back off, asshole. I'm a dancer, not a hooker.
Okay.
You got a mouth on you. I'll enjoy watching you use it.
See, now we've gone too far. Are you getting handsy? She told you no, right? Now, on the one hand, it's like, it should be pretty easy, cut and dry. But nowadays, more so, there are so many who tell you, be persistent. Or if you stop, why weren't you persistent? You weren't serious. You weren't real. Fellas, if she says no, even if she don't mean it, do not catch a case. Keep it moving. If she's upset that you didn't press it, well, maybe she'll stop playing stupid games. Either way, you don't have problems.
The lady asked you to step away.
What the hell? I'm just looking for a good time. This isn't your business.
Oh no, we can all definitely be evil. It's easy.
Good times
Again,
are
it's
over.
easy.
Thanks for that. Security was asleep.
Apparently. Yeah, it's very easy for us to be evil. But inherent evil, no. That would imply that that's outright baked into who we are, and that there's, in the end, nothing we could ever do about it.
Hi. I I need help right now, and I don't know who to ask. You're human, and you don't look high, so you're it. Can you help me out?
Have you ever heard of high-functioning alcoholics or drug addicts? Lucky for you, I'm neither. And no, I'm quite sober. So what do you need, my friend?
Slow down and tell me what the problem is.
Right. Slow down. Sorry, I just don't know what to do. My friend Moiral is doing a piece on Omega gangs. She's hanging with Floret. He's the worst of the worst.
Okay. That's gonna be risky as hell, but break it down.
What is she doing?
A vid piece. She's an investigative reporter, you know? She's trying to profile gang leaders.
Trying to profile gang leaders, huh? All right, now.
Your friend could get hurt.
Yeah, and she's going to. See, Floret's onto her. His gang is on the way here, and they're gonna make a mess of her. I have to get a message to her, and fast.
But yeah, we can all be very evil, we can all be very good, but that would imply that there's an inherent nature to us that we can never get away from. Regardless of all the structure in society and philosophy and beliefs, hopes and dreams we set up, that would effectively make it a part of our genetic makeup. We can't do anything to get away from it. Now, I do think that we all have choice more than we would like sometimes, and those choices can lead us to messed up outcomes. But beyond that, no, not inherent evil. So how do you know all this there, guy?
You seem to have a lot of information.
I'm her tech. I've been monitoring the gang's comm. The last transmission said Floret's going to splatter her. Man, I'm a tech junkie. I don't know how to handle this.
All right.
What do you want me to do?
She and I have a code. If you go over and say 2 words to Floret, my friend will get the message and get out of there. The 2 words are terminal and eternity. In that order. Please tell me you can do that. She's going to die.
All right. It makes perfect sense why it is he won't do that. He just explained he's a tech junkie. He's probably sweating over here just doing this.
I can do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Remember, terminal and eternity. In that order, just work them into a sentence.
You're an interesting one. I hate this
I don't know.
place and everyone in it. Every night I hate it all over again.
Oh, you're one of those. Oh, see, people like that are weird. I hate it, and every night I hate it all over again. But I'll be back tomorrow.
I don't talk to people.
You seem to be talkative, and whoever this is right here seems to really not be in the zone.
Are you sure this is where you want to be?
Was that you? No, that has.
I love this
Usually.
place. I love
Okay.
everyone here. I love you.
Oh, good and drunk.
I
Yeah,
guess.
Turians
I already said
have
I
that sort
love
of
you, though.
mechanical voice to them. So yeah, that wasn't him.
Breathing
That
on
was
my
her.
drink.
From over here, that guy, huh?
You need something, man?
Is there a public extranet terminal around here?
In a club? You don't have an Omni tool?
That is a pretty strange question.
I get by on public terminals. My Omni tool's been broken for an eternity.
That's a tough break. I'm done talking to you now.
Hey, Floret, I have to pee.
Yeah? Hurry back, Moiral. I'm ready to head out.
Don't look at me. What is wrong with you? Your job is to not die.
Bitch isn't coming back. I'm gonna find her.
Huh. Yeah, you better head out.
Sweaty. The music here used to be avant-garde.
Thank you so
Couldn't
much.
dance to it,
I
but
really
you
thought
felt
she was going to
smart
die.
listening to it.
She was. And the fact that he's going to look for her is proof. Now, Let's go ahead and break out the shepherd shuffle.
Hey,
Hey!
I'll dance next to you. If you want to think we're dancing together, go ahead.
I do want to think that.
Game.
My name is Morin. I've been watching you. You're the most interesting person in this place. I've got a booth over here in the shadows. Why don't you come sit with me?
That is a bondage outfit
Some
for
nights
real.
I come here and there's no one interesting to talk to. Some nights, there's just one person. Tonight it's you. Why is that?
If you're confident, you don't speak of your confidence, you live it. It speaks for itself.
You and I want the same things.
Do we?
Let's go through this. That top right one is getting left alone.
What do you think of the music here?
Dark rhythms, violent pulses. It stirs something primitive in me. What about you?
The music can be good sometimes, but not really my thing.
I'm curious about a band called Expel 10.
They get in my head and tear it to pieces. They're in concert soon. Maybe we should go together. You can lose yourself in the music here. There are ways to enhance that, you know?
Drugs are a crutch, but they do have more use than anybody would like, unfortunately. Don't do drugs, kids. Seriously.
What do you think of Halleck's?
It slithers through my soul. Seems like we share some interests.
It sure does, doesn't it?
Do you know anything about art?
It speaks to the darkest places in me. What about you?
Do you know the artist Porta?
I didn't think anyone around here knew him. He's sublime. Art comes in many varieties. I've seen vids that were more powerful than a sculpture sitting in a gallery.
See, the reason why I remember the details of this mission so easily, legitimately, I think it's because I have fun hunting.
Do you know Vianya?
My favorite. The two actresses on it are so glamorous.
I'll have to watch it.
Maybe we could do that together.
Maybe.
I've traveled all over the galaxy.
It changes you, doesn't it?
The danger? Sure. But let's go this route. I don't remember what she says. Oh, wait, yeah.
I love finding and opening new sectors of space.
Discovering another ball of gas with bits of cold dead rock around it?
Each new system holds a chance to meet new cultures, learn a new way to see the universe.
Breathtaking. When I travel, I find myself drawn to dark, dangerous places.
Violent places?
Violence is the surest expression of power.
For children.
If you're the strongest, you have the power.
That's certainly true. Among children.
Let me clarify to you then if it helps.
Whoever wants it the most is willing to do anything for it. Has the power.
Do you want to get out of here? My apartment is nearby and I want you alone.
And just like that. Said you played a Roblox game for 8 hours? It was making money. What, as in the game itself was making money, like in-game money, or you were like actually making money playing the game? If you were on that, if it was the second one, cool. Power to you. I'm always looking for something like that. Another thing, we actually get an assault rifle upgrade from her.
I was into dueling for a while. I love the moment you see it in your opponent's eyes. He knows you're better, and he's going to die.
That is a singular feeling.
Have a Hallex if you want. But wouldn't you rather have all your senses be clear and sharp right now? I certainly do.
I know you do, dear. You want to be able to get as much juice as possible from these brains. In-game money? Cool. I haven't actually played Roblox. Here recently, I watched a couple of family members play it. A couple of nephews and nieces. They seem to like the game.
I love any game where your opponent can believe he is about to win, just before you kill him.
Hard not to like the innuendo this woman is throwing left, right, and center. He knows you're better, and he's gonna die.
A gift from a suitor. The statue's got more personality than he did. Still, he impressed me enough that he finally got what he wanted. It didn't end the way he hoped.
You're not really helping yourself over there, dear. Regardless of who I am, and regardless of what I'm here for, that's the kind of statement you hear when you are concerned and need to pick up the AK.
I love clubs. People, movement, heat. I can still hear the bass like the drums of a great hunt out for your blood. But here, it's muted, and you're safe. Is that what you want, Shepard?
People feel safest right before they die.
It's true. We're never safe. I've never understood the fascination with safety. Some of us choose differently. Independence over submission? I think we share that, you and I.
There's nothing wrong with safety, but people feel safest right before they die. And there's nothing wrong with submission so long as who you submit to or what you submit to you respect. And so long as what you respect respects you. Not sycophancy. Not coddling. Respect.
We've both killed many times, but that's where the similarities end.
Why do you say that I've killed? What do you know? Let's stop playing games.
What do I know? Why a question like that?
Look into my eyes and tell me you want me. Tell me you'd kill for me. Anything I want.
That's what I'm saying. See, like I said, I actually forgot this part. She kicks on these powers like she has pull over the mind. She does. If you notice, there's even a high-pitched noise in the back, almost like it's supposed to mess with the mind. Sound, sights, they've always been used to manipulate. In real life.
Don't count on it.
But you... Who are you? Oh no. I see what's going on. The bitch herself found a little helper.
Marin,
Mother.
do not call me that.
I can't choose to stop being your daughter, Mother.
You made your choice long ago.
What choice? My only crime was being born with the gifts you gave me. Enough, Morinth!
Catfight.
I am the genetic destiny of the Asari, but they are not ready to reveal this. So I must die.
You are a disease to be purged. Nothing more.
I'm as strong as she is. Let me join you.
I am already sworn to help you, Shepard. Let us finish this.
Folks, you have choices. You can literally kill Samara right here, and her daughter will join you. The genetic destiny of the Asari. Hard to say. So they both have a singularity going. Or is that supposed to be dual throw fields?
End of the line, Morinth.
And they call me a monster.
find peace in the embrace of the goddess. I am ready to leave this place and get on with my life. Are you ready to go as well?
I'd ask if she's okay, but we all know better. But sure, we'll ask.
Do you want to talk about what happened?
Shepard, what do you think I will say? What can I say? I just killed the bravest and smartest of my daughters. There are no words. I will try another time.
Like
For
I
now,
said,
show mercy on a broken old warrior and let us leave.
as much as she didn't like what her daughter chose, she did respect her daughter's strength. The bravest and smartest.
Let's go.
Said you know nothing of either. What do you mean in terms of Samara's whole storyline right there, or are you talking about Roblox still? Level 28. Samara has dealt with Yardat Yakshi. She remains loyal to Shepard personally. Loyalty of the Justicar are beyond question. Given apparent bonds of oath rendered to Shepard, better than hoped. Cerberus activities will not be affected further by presence of Shepard's team. Interesting. Cerberus activities will not be affected further by the presence of Shepard's team. What? What does that mean? I don't remember seeing that. Relieved to have Justicar's mission completed. Unfortunately, our body of Ardat Yakshi could not be taken for study. Genetic abnormality could have been useful. Subject's expertise would have made her a valuable team member if sociopathic tendencies were mitigated. I don't think such a thing is possible to mitigate those sociopathic tendencies. Now, it's interesting. You can get her to come with you, and she has a different ability. I don't remember what it was. But in terms of Mass Effect romances, you can sleep with her, and she will kill you. So, there you go. Reeve. Damages target's nervous system or nervous or synthetic systems to prevent healing, restores health, and give a temporary health bonus when the power is used against organics. Reeve also does double damage to armor and barriers. New outfit, assault rifle upgrade with plus 40% damage and 30,000 creds. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That whole situation between Samara and Morinth was always wild. And it's wild. If you actually do kill Samara, Morinth takes her clothes, runs around acting like her and all of that. Everybody on board the Normandy, they know nothing, but they're kind of... She's a little different than she was to them. And they still can't explain why. Biotically attacks the target's nervous and synthetic system and disables any health regeneration when used against organics. The field regenerates the biotic's health and provides a temporary health bonus. And also does double damage to armor and barriers. 40 points of damage per second for 3 seconds, 12-second recharge, and 40 points of damage for 4 seconds. Doesn't seem like much, but it does have quite a bit of use, especially once you max it out. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to go back in there. I hope that woman is not suicidal. No parent should have to bury their own child.
Is that Shepard? Shepard's supposed to be dead.
All right. Oh yeah. And now she's dressed in all black. Not gonna lie, I like that outfit more. Ah, right, she gets slammed. I forgot that. Cerberus leader, Cerberus tactician. Let's go for Cerberus leader. Miranda's coordination of the fire team gives an increased bonus to squad weapon damage. Or Cerberus tactician, Miranda's leadership tactics. Leave no one behind and giving the squad an increased bonus to health. Nah, we'll take the weapon damage. That is one thing I do like about her stats, is that she actually improves the team. The whole team. I'm debating whether or not to put points into her warp right now. Oh, right. I gotta remind myself of that. When you get a new weapon, everybody automatically switches over to the new weapon. I'll let you keep the Carnifex. Jacob can keep the Phalanx. No, it's funny, in the first version of Mass Effect 2, like weapons like the Phalanx, the gas plasma shotgun, you would actually get like little messages in your inbox where they would speak about how you got them. Like Jacob was a part of, since he was a part of the Corsairs, him and his friends were actually like looking at the Phalanx pistol. And he had put in a request, which is why you end up having it. There was more to it, I just can't remember exactly what.
Jacob, over here. You told me about Jacob, didn't you?
Has pled guilty to tax evasion. He is in custody pending sentencing. 2 years after...
Jacob Taylor? I certainly didn't expect to see you again.
I'm sure you didn't.
No, please. So many years have passed since Tortuga. Lots of water under the bridge.
Tortuga? If that ain't a name. Wonder where that planet was. Alright, Azrael. Thank you for stopping through. Catch you in the next one.
I take it you've met each other before.
Jacob and I worked a mission with Ish a few years back. He helped us with some information.
You sent me into a nest of Turian thugs in a Batarian ambush.
Hey now, my job was to get you inside. Anything more would have cost you extra.
Yeah, the classic. Anything more would have cost you extra. Really? Did you tell him about potential extra costs? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because then that would mean that you would have to inform him there's something on the other side, and that would mean that you'd be giving information away for free, doesn't it?
Is this going to be a problem?
If we don't walk away, I promise he'll give you a reason to shoot him.
All right. Let's see what he wants.
Sounded like you were watching us, Ish. You need something?
Well, if you'd be so kind, I hoped you might consider a proposition. I need skilled, trustworthy people to take care of a little business for me. Nothing illegal, of course, but it's paying work.
What kind of business do you do?
Important business. So important that, with your help, we can change Omega.
So important that with you, we can solve that problem. We need you today.
What do you mean we can change Omega?
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but certain people here have business deals with people throughout the galaxy. If we were to have information involving those deals, we could make some ripples around here. That's all I'll say.
So you're trying to snipe Arya. Because that's the only big fish around here, other than a few potential others that are probably not necessarily not big fish, but she seems to be the biggest fish around here. So if you're doing this, then you have to be sniping Arya, whether you intend to or not.
I'm listening.
I'm in the information business, specifically the buying and selling of privileged material. It's
Liara?
not it? I just need someone to pick up packages in certain locations and bring them to me here.
Uh-huh. You know, I believe I did some work like this for a Hanar back in the last game.
What's your angle?
No angle. I'm a simple businessman. What do you say?
I mean, it's not hard to believe. He's just an information broker. By the way he's speaking, he's kind of dumb as hell right now, but sure, I get it.
I can do that.
My contacts use specific drop points. I need you to look outside Merib's shop on the Citadel and inside Eternity on Ilium. Look around for anything that might hold a data package and bring those packages to me. Good to see you alive, Jacob.
Ooh, he has a strong desire to want to shoot you. We'll deal with that next episode. See what the crew has to say.
Reference is essential. Not hiring snipers, artillerists, or mail carriers. Nallynox may not be looking for experienced or assertive individuals.
Okay. Not hiring snipers and what? Excuse me.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Yeah.
How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
Yeah.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Captain Bailey, seasick. Update on the kid. Hey Shepard, just wanted to let you know that the Drell's kid's doing okay. Everything's taken care of legally, and he's doing some work for me, helping me deal with some of the trash in the wards. Maybe make life better for some of the kids like Mouse. Not perfect, but then what is? Don't know if your Drell and mine are talking. I told him life was too short not to, but I don't know if it took. Good luck out there, Bailey. Well, I mean, it's like this. He got him to calm down. He got him to at least hear him. They don't need to be talking immediately. He needs to let what he's learned marinate. This is progress, especially since he's actually helping. Now, he could just as easily be faking until he gets free or whatever, but think about faking. Think about certain lies. You fake or lie long enough, eventually you might wake up one day and find out that this is more normal to you than not doing what it is you're saying that you're doing. You might find out that you faked it until you made it.
Morinth haunted my dreams and waking hours equally. For the first time in 400 years, I am free. I am a ruined vessel of sorrow and regret, but I am free. It is not a feeling I can describe.
Progress. The main reason you became a Justicar is over now. It's not to say your oath is, obviously. You don't become a Justicar simply for personal gain. But you can finally feel relief from your duty and from what you've been trying to work your way up to, all the way up to this point. You don't really know what to do with yourself. You've always had a specific reason. 4 centuries, and it was all for the exact same problem, for the exact same person. What you have is relief. What you have is confusion. And you have a sense of a lack of purpose. You at least have purpose in terms of fighting the collectors and fighting evil. But you went to sleep with this. You woke up with it. It was always your main thought. You were a Justicar, but your main mission was to find Morinth. That's done now. Now you just live the life of a Justicar, whatever that means. She never really had downtime because she was always hunting her daughter. Now she kind of has downtime.
Was it worth it?
It was never a question of worth, but of need. I had to take the action I did, as did she. This was never a story that would have a happy outcome.
Yeah, I can understand that. As did she. Huh. So even with her addiction, you knew she couldn't do anything other than be who she was, even before her addiction. I can respect that. It's the concept of you may be this, or you may be horrible, or you may be the best, or in between, but at least you're consistent. You hold the same energy, left, right, and center. I can respect that thought process.
You did your duty. What about your feelings?
One of my daughters is dead. My hopes, my dreams were all bound up in my children. Still, my feelings have always come after my duty. The same is true of you.
And I can respect that, but as was stated, your duty is already done. But, yeah.
You said that Morinth was a monster, but she was still your daughter.
She was the strongest and smartest. She would not accept the injustice thrust upon her. She fought to the end. I am so proud of her, Shepard.
It's not hypocritical. It makes perfect sense. I've already stated it. You didn't respect her choice, but you respected her strength. You respected her willingness to defy the norm. Not every norm should be defied, but you respected her willingness to fight. You respected her strength. And with Asari being the way they are, physically very fragile, like more so than most races out here, Krogan speaking about good grip and all of that, other races concerned with the natural defenses of Asari, even the Asari being concerned with how they generally fight. Not overly like bulky or durable like humans or Turians, right? To see somebody being willing to effectively stand against the galaxy, it says a lot.
You killed her for being what she was.
And I would again. But I also know what it means to leave everything behind and fight. Do you realize that she went on the run at the age of 40? I do not know human years well, but it is very young for Asari.
Barely out of her teens, if not still in her teens, effectively. Damn. Yeah. A lot of strength to effectively say no like that. Setting aside the addiction, there was a lot of strength to just say no.
What will you do now that Morinth is gone?
Assuming I survive your mission, I am a Justicar. Injustice still exists, and perhaps even other Ardat Yakshi.
It's possible. Retirement? Nah, she don't seem the type. Even before she found out that she was an Ardat Yakshi, she didn't, or not an Ardat Yakshi, but able to produce Ardat Yakshi, she didn't seem the type. At least from what little we read from that old note. Wild that the Shadow Broker had a 400-year-old letter. Not surprising that he could find it. More surprising, it is surprising he could find it. It's not surprising it exists. Samara probably keeps it as something to look back at, reference. She may not speak to her daughters now, and they may not speak to her, but at least she can look back and, those are my daughters. That's their pain, that's their feelings, and those are mine. So much that didn't get to be said, so much that won't get to be said now.
There's no way to correct the condition Morinth had?
We are an advanced species, but we don't have magic. When the trait manifests at maturity, it is too late for mitigation. It only occurs in purebloods like myself. Perhaps that is the root of the stigma regarding Asari exclusive pairings. I don't know.
Now, I could see that. It is interesting that it only happens in purebloods, though. I wonder if it's only because so far you've only seen it happen in purebloods and you don't have a large enough sample size, even though the Asari have been roaming around the galaxy, meeting other species for millennia, but they may not have a large enough sample size. Other Asari may have died since so many Asari in their younger years roam around in merc bands or stripping or whatever, you know. So it's like maybe the sample size just didn't live long enough for you to actually see it, or it may outright be a pure blood defect. Has you wondering if Liara could potentially end up with Ardat Yakshi children, since she is pure blood? And yeah, manifesting in maturity, yeah, we've got those sicknesses too. Once they manifest, usually it's too late.
I thought Ardat Yakshi were extremely rare.
Asari have spread to many worlds. There are remote regions with no government oversight. If I travel to those worlds and they do exist, I will find them.
Morinth claimed that her condition was the future of the Asari race.
Morinth would say anything that served her cause. Ardat Yakshi are sterile, Shepard. That wouldn't be a particularly viable future for my people.
But sterility is a real future for some life forms, unfortunately. And then with the way your species is, it honestly seems like sterility would happen to your species faster than most. Just because of you, because y'all say it all the time, we don't really take the DNA of another species. We effectively take a snapshot and then we use our own DNA to form that snapshot. But that means that the individual, and it's already been proven, is always Asari. Now, some say that they believe they do get genetic traits like Matriarch Athena back on Ilium, who believes that she has her Krogan's father's genetics. Some. There are some who don't, but I can very easily see there being something to this, unfortunately. With how your species spreads itself out, it almost sounds genetically like you kind of stretch yourself thin, even without trying to. It's just because of your species able to bond with so many other species. You're still creating pure blood Asari to an extent. It's just pure blood Asari made up in a way that looks a little different genetically. But they're still all Asari. They still have the Asari lifespan. Now, I will say this. It has been proven that Asari species that do mate with other species do seem to have issues based on that. So, this is a reference that you won't hear in this game. It's not spoilery, but you won't actually hear it until the third game. There are offspring of Asari and Vorcha who have an allergy to dairy, and I'm assuming that that allergy comes from the Vorcha. So, to some extent, you are taking some genetic material. You just might not be keeping it all the time. Or that snapshot may just literally create vulnerabilities like that. I don't know.
You don't want to settle down?
I did. I returned to my homeworld and tried to start a family. I will fight and struggle all my life. That is my fate. When I die, it will not be in bed. I am at peace with that.
I can respect that. Not everybody desires to go out quietly. It's not even a whimper. It's just in your bed at home, comfortable, surrounded by family. Some people are more comfortable actively dying instead of simply passively dying. There's nothing wrong with either choice, honestly. But if you rather die on your feet than in a chair or a bed, hey, power to you. I can't blame it. It is so interesting looking at the way their head fringe and details are designed, especially this close. That is so interesting to see.
You still control the direction of your life.
I have chosen this path. I truly am at peace, due in no small part to you.
Alright then. At least in the end, so long as you're happy, it's not going to be perfect, but so long as you have what it is you need, you desire, I'm not mad at it. Speak to Thane next run. But folks, that is going to be the end of episode 24 of Mass Effect 2 Legendary Edition on the Xbox Series X. If y'all like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube above. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists, bang the bell. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links to my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you, excuse me, wherever you happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And God bless you.